think we're live. Okay. Okay. I think we're live. Hold on. 1 moment. Let me check. I know we're live, so don't say anything. 1 moment. Let me just make sure I can see us on my feed. And then I'll let you. Yep. We are definitely live. All right. So let me start sharing in my groups. Thank you for joining me this, well, it's not morning, but early afternoon, Sheriff Bradshaw. It's a pleasure for you to be on my show. And I just want to tell everyone who doesn't know me, who probably will see me on your feed. Hi, I'm Kitty London, host and creator of the People of Power Show. And every week I sit down with movers and shakers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and people who are doing amazing things. And if you followed me for the last couple of weeks, I've been sitting down with candidates. You know, right now it is voting season. Early voting started on August 3rd, and we have 2 full weeks, and then the big day is August 18th. So if you don't recognize this face, maybe that's a good thing, because, you know, if you recognize his face, I don't know. But anyway, I'm sitting with the incumbent, Palm Beach County Sheriff, Mr. Rick Bradshaw. So thank you again for joining me today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I want to just get into it. I just want to make sure that we're sharing. So if you are on here, please make sure you share if you are in Palm Beach County, because you will see his name on the ballot. So I'm going to give you your opening statement and tell us, for the people that don't know you, who you are.
Well, first of all, I am Rick Bradshaw. I am your sheriff. I've been your sheriff for 16 years. I was born and raised here in Palm Beach County. When I came out of the United States Marine Corps, serving my country, I went to work in West Palm Beach. I worked there for 33 years. I ended up being the police chief. And in 2004, I got elected as the sheriff here in Palm Beach County. And during this 16 years, we've done a lot of good things. A lot of more good things to come, I hope. And you know, we're just real proud of the organization, what we've done. And it showed our connection with the community that we've tried to establish when COVID hit, because we were able to get into the communities and help the people out, get to the testing sites, get people food that couldn't afford it, get the first responders, like the doctors and the nurses. We were able to get them some food and service those people because of the long shifts and everything. But it really made us feel good that our connection with the community was there to help them during this crisis. And of course, when the storm came, we threw that into the mix to help people out too. But the bottom line is we're really connected with the people that we serve. Our community policing effort is strong. So we're very proud of that. And I'm proud of the work that the men and women of the organization has done. And hopefully we'll have some more time going forward to do that.
So, you know, many people may ask, what is your future for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office? I know you've been there for a while, but let's go fast forward. If you are reelected, what is the future for Palm Beach County Sheriff?
Well, the two most important things that I want to accomplish is, you know, I want to expand our mental health unit. The sad part about it, Kitty, is I'm the biggest mental health provider in this county, and that's in the jail. And there's a lot of people in there that have mental health issues, substance abuse issues, and they don't belong there. You know, they've committed crimes, but it's tied into their issues. So my mental health unit that I started, 6 years ago, has been a really important part of what needs to be done. You're hearing about police reforms right now, and that's part of what people are crying for, that the police need to divert some funds into that. Well, we're already doing it. And it helps people. It's an important part of what we do, de-escalating situations where people have mental health issues in their family and family disturbances, people with guns in the house, kids that may act out. There are just so many things that this mental health unit has done. And I want to double the size of it. And that's one of my goals during the next 4 years, if I'm fortunate enough to get there. The second thing is we want to get body cameras on the deputies. You know, that's the last piece of technology that we really have been interested in for quite some time. But there's so many other costs going on during the budget times that the $19 million that this costs just didn't fit in. So now with the half-cent sales tax that will come available, we'll be able to do what we do with normally budgeted items, but then be able to start the process of getting the body cameras out there, which will be a great assistance to the public for visibility, for accountability, and help the deputies out too, in so many ways. So we're really thrilled to death that that's going to happen. And of course, we want to continue our Homeland Security efforts. Homeland Security is important because we got a lot of bad people that want to get here. Uh, I'll give you an example. You know, we stopped a boat with 11 people on it over the weekend, and all 11 of those people tested positive for COVID. And there were some really bad people on that boat. Now, of course, there's some people also that just want to get away from bad living conditions, but there's the double threat. Bad people that are gang members and bad people that are sick and want to get into our community and bring more disease here. So our homeland security issues are important. So for those reasons, you know, I want to continue to do what I need to do. You know, I've given 50 years of my life back to this community in the service of law enforcement, and it's who I am. It's what I do, and I enjoy helping people out and making their community safe.
But I wasn't even going to actually bring up the body cam because I know on the news lately they've talked about it. So I just want to ask you real quick, for people who probably say, oh, you know, well, we needed body cams a long time ago and it wasn't in the budget now. What would you have to say about that? Because I know that's been a pressing issue for a while.
Yeah, if it was just a matter of buying a few cameras, that I could see that argument, but it's $19 million. And one of the reasons it's so expensive is it has to go on servers. The servers are what drives all your technology. And because we're in charge of Homeland Security, we run the Fusion Center, which is intelligence gathering. We run a real-time crime center, and all the other technology that we have in our cars, our laptops, our cameras in the cars, you know, all the technology in the agency. And between 2008 and now, there's been a lot of things happening. I mean, the bottom fell out of the economy in 2008. It's taken 3 years to come back. They're tearing up my building, which is, you know, a big infrastructure problem. I've had to move my offices out of there, which is expensive to find other office space and move technology and find office space that's secure. So there's a lot of things going on, but that's why this half-cent sales tax was earmarked for technology. We're just going to move that money up a little bit. It's not that we didn't want the body cameras, we do. But you know, only 56% of the police agencies in Palm Beach County have body cameras. Not everybody does. So it's an expensive proposition. It's one that is, you know, well deserved to have. I understand all the reasons why it's good to have, and we agree with those reasons. And now it's going to come about. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So we're on the right path, and it's going to work.
And I know, you know, when you were coming on the show, a lot of people wanted me to ask you some tough questions. Tough questions. Get them, Kitty. Beat them up. Whatever. Yeah. But
they're all tough.
I said, you know, I know he's a tough guy. He can handle some questions.
Yeah, they're all tough.
But I want to make sure that, you know, especially because we are now voting, I want to make sure that people get the right perception of you. Okay, so we have this, you know, letter or whatever's floating around social media. The perception is he's a racist. He doesn't like Black people. He doesn't. And I always want people to have a fair chance to answer those questions.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, how does that make you feel? One.
Well, number one, it hurts me for people to say that, because the people that really know me know that that's not the truth. You know, and this letter that was floating around, look, we need to be real about this. The other people that are running against me, especially one particular guy in the primary, you know, he's looking to get some media attention. He was out there actually handing this letter out, even though he said it was despicable. He's going to hand it out. So we pretty much know where it came from, you know, because this person in the different forums that have been out there, you know, he was talking, you know, these racial, you know, tones anyhow. And I don't go there. I don't say anything about my opponent's bad, no matter whether I know it or not. I run on my own ability. I don't have to make the gutter comments and live in the gutter. Usually what happens in political campaigns, if you don't have the qualifications and you don't have the experience, then you got to get in the gutter. There's no other place for you to go. So, you know, we pretty much know where it came from. It's filled with a lot of trash, but guess what? The people that really know me every day, they know that I don't have a racist bone in my body. And that's the truth. Look, I have people that have endorsed me across the board, right? The public defender, who's probably one of the most liberal people that I know, if anybody thought I was a racist, she wouldn't have endorsed me. The mayor of West Palm Beach, Keith James, the mayor of Belglade, right? Mac Bernard, one of the county commissioners. All these are people of color. They know me. They're not going to put their name connected with me if they think that I think like that, or I talk like that, or my actions show that. anybody that's dealt with me over the past 50 years of this job, they know I'm not like that. You know, I'm a compassionate human being. I treat everybody like I want somebody to treat my family members. And I don't care if they're black, white, purple, yellow, it doesn't matter to me. When I look at your face or I look at anybody else's face, I see a human being. I see a person that needs help. I see a person that wants to do good things out here. And if they want my help, I'm more than happy to help them. And I don't care where they came from, who they are, what their background is. It's just like the inmates in the jail. You know, I provide them the best medical care that I can possibly get. They've done some things wrong, but they're still human beings. You know, I get them the best food that I can get for the money. I give them best medical care. We've had some come down with COVID, but none of them had to go to the hospital because I pay a lot for medical care in the jail and I treat them like human beings, right? So that should tell people a lot right there. I don't have to do all that. I could say, oh, these are criminals, but you know what? They've made mistakes, but they're still human beings. And I treat them as good as I can possibly treat them. So when I hear these type of things being said out there, look, you know, I turn to my family and I say to them, you know what, the people that really know me are just going to look at that and go, you know what, this is politics. This is cruelty at the worst level, and it's not called for.
You answered that question. So the next question, if you are reelected, do you see more diversity, let's just say in the upper ranking? Because I know that a lot, and I'll just say this in all fairness, a lot of the people that have worked for you have been there forever, right?
Yeah.
A long time. And maybe they're retiring soon, who knows? But I know you can't just fire people based on, I need someone to fill the seat who's of color. But just going forward, you see there being more diversity in your upper.
Yeah, and here, the process so people understand it, the ranks of deputy through a lieutenant, which is 3 steps. That's all by competitive examinations, competitive interviews. There's a test that's created. There's a list that's created. And whoever the first person on the list is gets promoted. It's that simple. It doesn't matter who you are, man, woman, black, white, whatever, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. If you're the first on the list, you get promoted. In the ranks above that, then you have to get a consensus of your executive staff. Okay, we have this person. What have they done? What have they done in the organization? Where are we headed? What's their education? There's a lot that goes into it. So the people in the first 3 steps to get to the 4th, 5th, and 6th steps got to get through the first 3 steps. So the more minorities I put in through the first 3 steps, because they get good education and they do well on the tests and they get promoted through the lieutenant ranks, the more I can move up into the other positions. So the ball is back in their court. You know, if I have the opportunity, I will take the best person for the position, regardless of who they are or where they came from. But they have to get to that position through competitiveness. And we've taken all the personalities out of it. We've taken all of what I believe is the good old boy syndrome out of it. The people that do the best make the best. And it's that simple. So we want qualified minorities to get through the process to get up to where they got the opportunity to get to the next level. And the way to do that is hard work, education, and study.
And if people are wondering, I'm sure that people have maybe questions on the live feed. And I just told, you know, just with any candidate, I didn't ask any questions from the audience just out of respect, because I want to make sure that we get through the questions. So if I tell anyone, if you're on the live feed and you have questions, if he can answer the questions, they'll go back and look at them and answer the questions. So I just want to make sure people don't think that I'm purposely ignoring them, but I want on time. So the last I would consider maybe tough question is, people think or have the impression, some people, that your officers just get away with anything, or you don't reprimand them and you just let them do what they want to do. So I want you to answer the question on, do you let them just do anything?
Absolutely, positively not. You know, I have 4,300 people. Probably there's one of them doing something right now I don't want them to do, and we will eventually find that out. But when you have that many people, it's like your little city. You know, they're human beings. They're going to make mistakes. And when they do, we investigate it. And that investigation is turned over to their supervisors, and their supervisors make a recommendation for discipline, and they get disciplined. If I was to print out how many people we've disciplined for whether it's missing work or having a traffic accident or inappropriate saying something to somebody or maybe using some force that they shouldn't have used. I could stack them up as high as you are tall over the last 16 years. Unfortunately, I've had to arrest some of my own employees and put them in jail, right? If they were drinking and driving and got into a wreck, we'll arrest them and put them in jail. They lose their job. If they used excessive force, then they lose their job. If they did something that was inappropriate, either we had somebody that shoplifted, they got caught. They lost their job. And these are good jobs they're losing, right? But they get disciplined for whatever they do when they violate the rules. And the internal affairs people investigate it. And that investigation is on file. Anybody can come and look at them. Anytime an officer or a deputy uses any kind of force at all, that's investigated and there's a file. And people can look at that if they want to. So we're not hiding anything. If people really have an interest in it, they can make a public records request and get a list of everything that anybody's ever done. And believe me, the news media out here, they're relentless. They report all the things that the deputies do and the fact that they got fired or they got suspended or whatever it is. So it's well documented. But no, that's farther from the truth. The deputies know that if they color outside the lines, that they're going to get a spanking. It's just that simple. And so that's our accountability to the people out here. Look, you know why we're going through this across the United States is because you have people that do stupid things, like in Minneapolis. That's stupid. It's wrong. It's criminal, and it shouldn't have happened. But guess what? There's 800,000 police officers in this country. 800,000. Every one of them ain't going to do everything right. What you got to do is you got to get rid of the bad ones, make sure they don't come back, and let the rest of them that really do a good job and have the interest of the public at heart do what they're supposed to do. You know, there's this defunding the police is out there. You know, I just read a survey that was done, and they did a survey in African-American community, Hispanic communities, Asian communities. And it came back that 78% of the people wanted more police, not less police. But they want good police. They want the good ones. They want more of them to stop the violence in their neighborhoods, to stop what's going on, right? And that's what we're out here. We're out here to make your neighborhood safe. But that's the key word. They want more, but they want good, honest police officers, right? So this notion about they want to defund the police, that's a small segment. Most people, they want the officers there, but they want good ones. And that's what we want. We want the best ones we can put in your neighborhood.
Education piece, you're not over all police officers. You're only over the sheriffs, right? Because I think sometimes that gets a little mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, there's 26 police departments in the county, and you know the sheriffs is just one part of it. Even though we have 12 cities that we contract with, there's a lot of other police departments. So we don't control all of them. Not Riviera, not Boynton, not Delray, Boca, Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter. They're their own place, and I can't speak for them. I just speak for us.
I want to make sure that I think that was the questions that I really wanted to get out of you, because those are the hard questions, so to speak. And I know you did implement, because you said on a previous debate with the Obama, the 8, you did implement that now.
Yeah. You know, I after I watched the video up in Minneapolis, which it was appalling, I actually watched former President Obama's speech. I watched it 3 times. And what he was talking about is he outlined 8 different things that people in police organizations have to do to be credible, to make the police officers do what they're supposed to do and make the reforms. We've been doing those for years, all 8 of them, every single one of them that he talked about. But we're going to enhance that. We're going to make it even better, because I started community review boards. I started community advisory boards, where in the different regions, we meet with people in the community and we say to them, what can we do better? What would you like to see? You know, what problems do you have in your neighborhood? You know, one thing I learned a long time ago is when you deal with people, use your ears, not your mouth, right? Listen to what people say. Don't try to tell them what they need. Listen to what people have to say, and then you'll learn what you really need to do to help them out. So yeah, we're doing those 8 things and more. We're an accredited agency. All our policies and procedures are accredited. which means they meet national guidelines of best practices. So we're proud that we were already doing that. There's a lot of places around the country that are going to have to look at themselves and say, yeah, we need to change. There's no doubt.
I think you've answered the question. I'm not sure if you had anything else that you wanted to add to that. I know we have what we call our closing, because I know you were busy. You got to get going. But I would call these the closing arguments. So I always ask all of the candidates, why should your name get selected over your opponent? In other words, why should the public vote for you?
Well, I think it's an easy question. And the question is, you got to ask this to yourself. Who is the best person, the most qualified, the most experienced to make the decisions on keeping me safe? Who do you trust? Who's the person that actually has been the one that's been keeping you and your family safe in your neighborhoods? Who's got that experience? 25 of my 50 years has been leading the two major police departments in this county, West Palm and now the sheriff's office. Nobody else in this race has ever commanded a police agency. They got 0 years. I got 25. But I'm the person that's been doing this. If you looked at the endorsements that I have, the two major newspapers, the Post and the Sun Sentinel, the major thing that they said in there is, this is no time to have somebody that does not have the experience of the Sheriff Bradshaw. With COVID, with police reforms, with everything that's a danger out to us right now, you need the person that has the most experience, that has done this, not somebody that says, look, I think I can do it. I'm not sure, but I think I can do it. That's not the time to do that. That's why the public defender, the state attorney, local officials, state officials, national officials, unions like the AFL-CIO, Chamber of Commerce's, you name it. I've gotten every major endorsement out here. The Human Rights Council of Palm Beach County. These are people that you sit in front of and answer the tough questions. My two opponents never even showed up. They didn't have the courage to sit there in front of people and answer the hard questions. If you want this job, part of it is you got to show up. You got to show up and answer the hard questions. And that's what I did. And that's why I got the endorsements. I don't shy away from any question. I'll answer whatever it is. People may not like the answer, but I'll give them the answer straight on. But I think that's the only question that the voters have to ask themselves. Who do I trust to keep my family and myself safe? If the answer is the guy that's doing it, that's fine. If you're not happy with it, then you need to find somebody else. But my guess is after 4 elections, this will be my 5th term, people are relatively satisfied with what they do. They know that our heart and soul is in it. They certainly know that my heart and soul is in it. And that's what I want to do. I want to make this community the best and safest place there is. So thank you for having me here today.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for answering the questions. So it's up to you, voters. Like he said, if you want to keep him in, select his name. If you don't, you have a choice. But I want to make sure that your voice was heard today, and I would appreciate everything you've done. And again, good luck. I tell all my candidates, good luck. We'll see on August 18th. When the names are called, we'll all be watching. We can't do our watch parties now because it's COVID, but we'll all be in front of the TV. So thank you.
Thank you.
Please, while you're still in there, please still keep us safe. Okay.
All right. I will. Thank you.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.